Tons of Go Crypto Investing, bell notification, like the channel, subscribe, and share in order to learn the knowledge, the hidden and secret knowledge that is out there in plain sight and visible for everybody and anybody that's looking to understand the information and how to trade this manipulated market. But first, you must understand, as we look at the weekly time frame, that it's more than just trading. It's more than just the chart. It's more than just momentum, and it's more than just the news and the underlying asset that you're trying to trade. It's an overall mindset. And if your mind isn't right, and if you don't have one's self-control over one's mind, you've lost the battle before you've even set foot outside the door. Because if you can't control something that's yours, which is your mind, your emotions, and your feelings, and how to cope with it, you're not going to have a pig's day in hell to try to slaughter the market manipulators and try to trade this market and try to do any kind of investing for yourself if your mind is all out of whack and if you can't remain calm under pressure and if you don't have the capability to use your critical thinking and to use your subconscious as well as your conscious mind to overall move your way and prosper in life. And you must understand that. You have to get your one mind and yourself right before you try to invest, before you try to tackle projects, before you try to start a business. If you're not right with your one's mind, yourself, up there in your noggin, it's not going to work out for you. It's going to be a train wreck, and there's going to be a lot of emotional ups and downs and a lot of irrational things you'll do if your mind's not right when the fire's set and the turmoil is taking place and the chaos is going on all around you. If you don't have one control over one's mind, your mind, something that's yours, you're the only one that can control it, you're going to be lost, and it's going to be a very, very hard time for you to trade this market or try to do any kind of business or anything in life if you don't have your mind right. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. Before you start to take on tasks, you need to have yourself under control, stable, and have a full understanding of your capability and a full understanding of how to control your emotions and how to keep your mental sanity and keep that brain thinking while moving forward in a direction that you desire, in a way that you desire, at the pace that you want and desire, right? So it's very important to learn how to get in touch with one's self-mind and control it in order to put things that are important in line and in a plan over a long period of time, and then follow that plan through over that set long period of time. As all things take time, all things take planning, and all things take dedication and drive to achieve what you overall want to achieve. And it's very important that you understand that before you start to take on bigger and bigger tasks and bigger aspirations. Special weather statement in Gibson, Illinois, there appears to be some dense fog down, sort of what I'm dealing with here, result in fog. It's 34 degrees safely, 2 degrees safely above freezing, with a warm ground, no snowpack, no worries of any kind of slippery travel, at least where I'm at in the great state of Michigan, right? But you can see we had that little liquidation there that essentially got all the minute and day traders and leverage traders out right there, something that we were talking about. But then you had the quick reversal. Back up. Quick reversal back up on the quick reversal back up off of and just below that critical 37 cents, and I believe it was about a 7.65 to 8% dump in a matter of a short time. And if you were a minute trader or a leverage trader right there, or trying to short long the market, and you got caught longing when it dumped in that consolidation, if you're watching it in a minute time frame, your stops were probably hit because it got a few percent below that critical 37.2 cents. And then anybody that was on leverage more than, say, about 5%, you were immediately liquidated as soon as you took that position on the first dump down. And then the painful thing about that is it quickly reverses back up about 8 to 10% from its lows within a matter of 15 minutes. And then it's about where you were at when you initially took those positions. But if you were on 20, 30, 50, 100x leverage, you were long by the weight side, and the exchange has got your money. And you can see the upper 50 cents is your major upper resistance. If you can hold this critical 37.2 You can hold this critical 37 cents. You could try to make a run up here to 50 cents on the next week or two. But if you fall and fail to hold this 37 cents and you start to trade down, obviously you're coming back into this red trading zone. And that's exactly what we've been talking about. And that's exactly what we're going to keep watching out for. This is the VP volume indicator. You can see at a big wick down there, but beautifully bounced off the bottom of it like you should. When you're coming from above, it acts as bullishness. When you're coming from below, it acts as bearishness, right? So that's what we're looking at. If you fall, you're going to go in between this 29 and 32 cent red volume indicator, and then you might try to bounce back up into this 30 cents. Or if you fall and you fail to hold this, that's when a big capitulation can start, and the capitulation warning is in effect. As soon as you want a capitulation watch for 2023, but as soon as you break 29 cents and you get below this VP volume indicator, that's when the capitulation warning takes effect. And we could have a June 2023 low all the way down there between 3.5 and 11 cents. And that's when I'm calling for a capitulation bottom in the XRP price. But we're not talking about that in this video. This is the morning update where we get into the breaking news that's happened overnight and the breaking price prediction in XRP and Bitcoin. And this was your XRP price update, giving you what we're looking at in the immediate short term and the micro time frame, in this case, the daily time frame, the next 24 hours of trading. And I think that's a pretty good stand on what we're going at. And then if we look at the Bitcoin, we got to get into some breaking news first, as $1 billion worth of crypto sold by Peter Thiel. And he's been in the Bitcoin and crypto hodling stage for about, I think it's 8 years, since 2014. I believe he bought his Bitcoin, and then primarily Bitcoin, but he bought a few other coins. But Peter Thiel has officially sold out essentially all of his Bitcoin at the last regional high. I think it's set at about, 18 or 20,000, about $1.something billion worth of current value. He bought his Bitcoin below $1,000, and he was a massive institutional investor. And this is another truth, and this is another secret that old Vincenzo is going to give you right here. You can see hodling for 8 years, and he's finally out. The 2019 bear market, the 2020 bottom, and then through 2020 bull market with the Fed-induced bull market into 2021, and most of 2022. But it started wavering as some of these sites started crashing and going liquidation and belly up, as it was by all these shysters and the misconception that all these massive institutional investors were piling into Bitcoin, piling into the futures market, piling in just, remember, you've heard this a million times, if the assets under management of just 1% put it into Bitcoin, that's multiples of trillions of dollars into the asset class, right? And they kept trying to force upon you and kept trying to force feed you with propaganda and hype trains and fear-mongering that all the institutional investors in 2020 and 2021 were piling in when Elon Musk made his horrible Bitcoin trade. All its institutional investors, Peter Thiel, institutional investors, MicroStrategy, they jammed it down your throat when that wasn't what was going on. There was no mass institutional adoption. There was no mass adoption by any kind of industry and significance. It was all smoke and mirrors. It was all fleece heisting and shysting. And now almost every single institutional investor with institutional money is now out of the market, and almost all of them got hammered and slaughtered and beaten down and heisted and shysted and fleeced to the most extreme degree imaginable. And Peter Thiel is the next guy out. As you can see, Peter Thiel has sold all of his Bitcoin and crypto. Peter Thiel, the founder's fund, successfully sold $1 billion worth of the cryptocurrency with a significant profit, according to the article, as they bought the Bitcoin in about 2014 for less than $1,000, and they sold it for north of $15,000 for about a 20 to 30 fold gain in his money, right? So if he put $1 million in, he cashed out probably $20 million in profit, right? However, during the speech at the conference, Thiel did not mention or hint at the fact that his fund has sold most of the holdings. On the contrary, the investor urged attendees to expose themselves to Bitcoin because of the value it brings to the table. Now, that's a dog doing one thing and then telling the peasant to do another. Peter Thiel just made a 20-fold trade, and now he's out. But now he's going to tell you guys to buy it at $15,000. Well, why would he? Why, if there's such the upside, Peter? Why are you telling your peasants to do the exact opposite of what you're doing? You didn't tell these same peasants to buy it when you did, but now when you sold it for your 20-fold profit, Peter Thiel is going to tell his peasants to do the opposite. He's waving, the dog is waving the bone and pushing and hurting the mass and hurting his sheeple and his peasants in the opposite direction of what the wolf is doing. The wolf, Peter Thiel, is exiting his institutional money, exiting all of his trade in crypto and Bitcoin, taking his nearly 20, maybe it's even 30-fold increase in profit. And now he's telling the shepherd, and the wolf is telling his peasants and sheep to do the opposite of what he's doing, to get laid out for the massive capitulation that Vincenzo's Gold Crypto Investing has been warning about, that is coming in 2023, and he's going to lead his sheep into slaughter and his followers. You can see Peter Thiel bought Bitcoin in 2014 when it traded under $1,000. And that's what a wolf does. He buys it under $1,000. And then what a fleet heister and shyster does is he sells out and then tells his peasants and followers to buy it because it's got massive upside and massive potential. Well, Peter Thiel, if you thought it had massive upside and massive potential, you should have doubled down on the 75% crash. He held it up to 60,000 and didn't sell it, right? He could have had a 60-fold more money, but he waited till it crashed, and then he sold it, even though he was still up 20-fold. Could have been up 100-fold or more, but now he's telling his followers and his sheep and the peasants to do the opposite of what Mr. Thiel is doing. Mr. Thiel, the bottom line here is I think you're misleading your audience. Mr. Thiel, Mr. Peter, with your portfolio assets, billions of dollars under management, you are no more than these people that were on CNBC, MSNBC, and all the top YouTube influencers in crypto as doing one thing and hurting your peasants to slaughter and telling them and giving them the advice to the exact opposite of what you are actually doing. And for that, Mr. Peter, old Vincenzo's Gold Crypto Investing is going to be watching. Old Vincenzo's Gold Crypto Investing is going to keep exposing what's happened to the people that you told to invest at $15,000 after you dumped your massive profits, after you left the market, after you were scared out and took your profits, and you've exited the market and are on the sidelines waiting for a better opportunity and waiting for more information and waiting for more knowledge to come out and maybe the overall direction of the Bitcoin and crypto market over the next 3 to 5 years. You're going to sit on the sidelines with your profits while telling your much poorer peasants to put in whatever money they have into Bitcoin for its massive upside. Well, if there was that massive upside, Mr. Thiel, Mr. Peter, why aren't you still in? Why did you sell? Why are you on the sidelines? And why are you not doing the exact thing that you're telling your followers to do? And that is my one and final thought on Mr. Peter Thiel and what's going on there with this fleet heister and shyster, that I believe there is some buffoonery and fugazi that's going on there. The fugazi, right? That's what Mr. Peter's doing right now. He's pulling one over you. You have to stay educated and you have to stay informed. Old Vincenzo's there for you. We'll keep exposing the breaking news and question everything and anything that we feel and find and think and thought and believe is suspect. Peace and love. Rain alert in St. Clair Shores, Michigan, a brief wintertime shower.